know if you've noticed, but it seems as though people are laughing and smiling a lot less these days, as though it's some distant memory of something they used to be able to do. Well, we have someone in the studio who can answer your questions for you as to why it is people just aren't experiencing joy and the joy of the Lord as much as they should. Her name is Sue Jameson, and she's a joy activist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gerry. It's such a delight to be here. Just give you a little background.
Oh, please do.
13 years ago, I heard about this thing called laughter therapy. The amazing benefits of laughter, and my spirit just leapt within me, and I thought I was made for this. And so I started studying, and I became a laughter coach. And so I am a laughter coach.
What does it mean? You tell people jokes all day?
No, I never tell a joke.
You never tell a joke?
I'm terrible at telling jokes.
So am I.
But and jokes and comedy are so subjective. You know, what I think is funny and what you think is funny is two different things. It's about pure laughter. It's about laughing naturally. And but it's not enough. Laughter is awesome, and it'll change the world. I believe it changes lives and communities and countries in the world. But there's more. It's the joy of the Lord. As you spoke earlier, is your strength.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to be just a laughter coach, and the guy that I trained with, Bill G., he called me a joy activist, and I thought, that's who I am. I'm a joy activist.
You go around activating the joy button in every life that you come across.
Well, I try, and yeah, no, it's the most amazing thing. It's taken me a long time, to discover who I am in Christ, and now I'm a joy activist.
Fantastic. But now you must talk us through what all of this means. What is laugh therapy, and how do I grow and develop from it?
Okay, I think one of the biggest things is that we rely on jokes and comedy and humor, and we don't laugh enough. You know, adults laugh so little these days, and because they're waiting for something to be funny. And people say, you know, well, life is no laughing matter. Well, actually, that's true, and you spoke earlier about the trouble in the world, but we've got to laugh anyway. And so if I speak in a group situation, in a company or in a church or a group, I will do a laughter session.
And how would that start? With asking us all to go.
From
the minute that prophet laid his hands on me, I've not stopped.
It's the most wonderful thing. But there's so many people that can't do that.
I know.
And they're so withdrawn in terms of laughter. And if laughter is the best medicine, we've got to use it. We've got to laugh. In a nutshell, the most amazing thing about laughter is that it's chemical. Laughter releases chemistry. Now, stress is chemistry. So stress is adrenaline and cortisol and literally poison in our bodies unless we're in a life-threatening situation. But because we live day to day with lots of little things that stress us out, we're marinating in stress chemistry.
Oh my.
And laughter literally dissolves stress chemistry.
Right.
You know, in the most difficult situations, sometimes people have a car accident. And the first thing they do is start laughing. And that's just a beautiful God-given response. Because he knows that when we laugh, the stress chemistry literally will be diluted.
Oh,
Dr. Caroline Leaf, she's a neuroscientist, born in grew up in South Africa and now lives in the States. She said that laughter almost instantaneously reduces levels of stress hormones.
Wow.
And so it's chemically, it's scientifically proven, and we're made in the image of God.
Well, if we had more joy therapists, we'd be putting psychiatrists out of business.
Well, absolutely, that God is in the business of miracles and healings and signs and wonders. But I think that if we just did our part, we wouldn't be, you know, people wouldn't be saying, Lord, heal me of this, because laughter, because it reduces stress chemistry, we're not going to get as sick, because stress is the #1 killer in the world.
I've seen amazing changes in people's lives just by them finding joy within themselves.
Absolutely.
Ridding themselves of insecurity.
Yeah.
And you can't be insecure if you're going to laugh from your from your belly.
Absolutely. And what's the best thing to laugh at is laugh at yourself.
That's true.
I mean, we are fabulous. In the morning, you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you know, what are you going to do? That's going to be laughed at.
That's the best bit of humor, looking at yourself in the mirror in the morning.
Absolutely.
So where are you active? How do people watching the program right now participate in what it is that you do?
You know, together groups to come to a place to laugh, but we've found that it's better to go to where people are.
Yeah.
So I speak in corporates, wellness days, conferences, stress-busting sessions. Obviously in the church, I just love, because then in a corporate, obviously it's physiological. We're made in the image of God with this incredible gift of laughter. But when we get into church situations, when I can speak to people about the joy of the Lord, well, that's just the cherry on the icing.
I'm told that you have many amazing quotes that you love to bring, and one is by a gentleman called Henry David Thoreau, is it?
Yes.
Tell me about it and how it's influenced your work and life.
Most men, and I always in brackets put and women, lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them. And, it breaks my heart. I'm deeply affected by lives half-lived and lives untouched by the love of God.
I know.
God, it just wants to love us.
Yeah.
And there are people that are just so desperate in this world. And so I want to help people find their song. And I want to help people find who they're created to be and what they've been created to do. Swindle, she's with Women of Faith. She says, live the life out of every day. And that's kind of one of my mottos. Just live life to the full. That's what Jesus promises.